From Southern Colorado's high-definition news leader, this is News Channel 13, where the news comes first.
Hundreds of people gathered in town to protest the president-elect. We'll share their message coming up.
And I'm tracking a warm-up for the beginning of the week, but get out there and enjoy it because we got some cold stuff coming. I got all the details coming up.
And a scary moment for citizens of New Zealand as a massive earthquake rocks the island country. Good evening and thanks for joining us for KRDO News Channel 13 at 5 o'clock. I'm Emily Allen. First tonight, we have breaking news from Washington. President-elect Donald Trump added 2 more people to his administration today. Trump announced that Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus will serve as the White House Chief of Staff. And the CEO for Trump for President, Steve Bannon, will serve as the Chief Strategist and Senior Counselor for the President. Protests against the president-elect Donald Trump continue across the country. Today, hundreds turned out for a peaceful protest in downtown Colorado Springs. But as KRDO News Channel 13's Angelica Lombardi reports, the goal is to promote solidarity, not to bash Trump.
This is a diversity stroll.
Hundreds gathered to voice their opinion following the election.
It's a commitment to action.
Nori Roast helped organize this protest. She wanted it to be an opportunity for people to come together and support, not hate.
Show people in marginalized groups that we are here for them, that we are a safe people for them to come to, that we have their back.
Religious freedom!
Religious freedom! It was open to anyone regardless of who they voted for.
People of color, disabled folks, I'm a lesbian, the queer community's here, trans folk are here. Indigenous people are here.
Crowds walk the sidewalks from Acacia Park to the courthouse and back, many with signs in hand.
We're here for love. We're not protesting hate. We're not protesting hate against any Donald Trump supporters. We're not protesting hate against him. We just want to show that we have love.
People attending this rally are wearing a safety pin as a sign of solidarity.
This isn't just a symbol that we're wearing, the safety pin, but it's actually a call to action that we pledge to stand up.
The Safety Pin Brigade!
The Safety Pin Brigade!
I hope that people just don't feel isolated, that don't feel alone. People understand that we are out here trying to create unity with anyone that disagrees with what is going on in politics at this time.
In Colorado Springs, Angelica Lombardi, KRDO News Channel 13.
Right now in Denver, more than 1,000 people are participating in a peace rally. The pro-Trump rally gets underway at 6 p.m. Here is video of that rally going on right now in Denver. The protesters are gathered at Civic Center Park. This is after a large protest on Thursday night where people marched throughout Denver. Our partners in Denver tell us that the rally has been very peaceful so far, a much different scene than what we saw on Thursday night. Organizers told the crowd today that Thursday was about getting their anger out, and this rally is about unity and peace. Anti-Trump protesters rallied in Fort Collins yesterday. Hundreds of peaceful demonstrators held a rally asking for solidarity, stressing their message, America is still America, despite the outcome of the election.
We don't tolerate hatred, and we don't cheer when people who are in positions of power talk about violence and othering people who aren't like us.
After the rally, the crowd simply gave one loud round of applause and went on their way. And in Denver yesterday, an MAE church organized a prayer service in response to the protests. The church says it's time for the demonstrations to stop because this country needs to start healing.
The election has created, I think, a division in our country that I think is dangerous and scary. We have children that are afraid. We have communities that don't know what to do next. And in our prayer, we're praying for all of the things that have created that dissonance and that unrest in our communities.
About 55 women participated in that prayer service. President-elect Donald Trump took to Twitter this morning, blasting one of the country's biggest news outlets, the New York Times. One tweet alleged that the Times is losing thousands of subscribers because of their poor and highly inaccurate coverage of the Trump phenomena. But the New York Times disputes that claim. In a statement to CNN Money, the news outlet says it has seen a surge in digital subscriptions since Election Day. In another tweet from from Trump. He called the paper dishonest in response to an article written by Max Fisher. Trump tweeted in the article that it said that he believes more countries should acquire nuclear weapons. Trump says he never tweeted this. Turning back now to southern Colorado, here is a live look right now from Kim, where you can see it's just a gorgeous sunset out there. Let's send things over to Storm Tracker 13's Mike Everett. And Mike, it is mid-November and we are finally seeing snow in the forecast.
Maybe, sort of, kind of. We'll talk about that coming up in just a moment. But a lot of folks did see some overcast skies today, some cool temperatures, and some little spittles of rain. Case in point, in Woodland Park, another gorgeous view we've got right here. And there was a little bit of rain that moved through there. Again, I don't know if I would call it straight up rain, but it definitely got some windshields wet today. 39 degrees there right now. Highs across the area today were a little bit cooler. We saw 66 in Denver. That's what we saw in the Springs today as well. Cranked up some 70s in a couple of spots. 71 in Pueblo, 77 Lamar, 70 in Springfield. We got 67 today in Trinidad. 44 was your high today in Leadville, and 60 today in Salida. A lot of folks got out to enjoy it. Tom Ademo went for a hike today, and you know what he found? Some icicles. Yeah, there was some in the high country today. Again, those temperatures have been getting below freezing overnight, and this is actually a shot from a little bit earlier today, 2:40 p.m. We did see some of that rainish type stuff move across the area, especially the southern part of El Paso County and Teller County earlier today. Not enough to create any accumulations, but it did get our neighborhood weather network camera wet right around 3 o'clock today. And it completely blocked out the view of Pikes Peak from there as well. So again, some encouraging signs and maybe priming the pump a little bit. Right now we're taking a look at 54 up at the airport in the Springs, 62 in Pueblo, seeing some mid-60s still out towards the plains, 64s in La Junta and Lamar, 58 in Springfield. That's your big number right now in Trinidad, already 36 in Leadville. We are tracking a warm-up at the beginning of the week, and then it gets burr cold. We're going to talk about how chilly it gets coming up in my full forecast. Back to you.
Thanks, Mike. A brush fire flared up near Brighton this afternoon. Our partners in Denver are reporting the fire is burning northeast of Denver International Airport. We do not know the actual size of the fire right now. Crews are currently working to protect buildings threatened by the flames. We will update you on this fire as soon as we have more information. We have a time saver traffic alert for you this evening. Bridge maintenance on Pikes Peak Avenue over Shooks Run is scheduled to start tomorrow. The single lane closures in both directions will cause some delays for drivers. The bridge work will begin at 9 a.m. and is expected to finish by the 24th of November. New owners of Colorado's historic Redstone Castle are planning to rent out rooms and expand tours for the public. The castle's first rooms could be available for rent by next summer. The company already owns a hotel in Glenwood Springs. They also want to expand tours to more areas of the castle and the grounds. The Denver Broncos beat the New Orleans Saints today, but it was quite a dramatic finish. Now, the final score of that game was 25-23. Nick Rothschild joins me here now. And Nick, it sounds like there was one player that really stood out in this game.
Yeah, that's right, Emily. It was a guy we don't always hear from when it comes to the Broncos, Darian Stewart, safety Darian Stewart. It was his day to shine in the Big Easy. Stewart came up with 2 first-half interceptions of Drew Brees, and he added a fumble recovery in the fourth quarter. D. Stu accounted for 3 of the Broncos' 4 turnovers in the game, and he had his big day in front of a big group of supporters.
It was one of those days, man, and today was gonna be special, man. I had a lot of family in the stands, and a couple of nieces that never got to see me play, so it was good to just do that for them.
He's one of the good guys in the Broncos locker room, so glad to see him play studly today. But Emily, the biggest play of the day was made by a couple of rookies. I'll have much more on that coming up in sports.
Excellent. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Nick. It was a solemn day for people in France as they remembered those killed a year ago today in deadly terrorist attacks. And Iraqi forces are approaching the ISIS stronghold of Mosul. We'll tell you how they plan to warn citizens in the city. Paris marks 1 year since terrorists targeted 6 locations across the city. The attacks left 130 people dead and hundreds more wounded. France is commemorating the victims with plaques at the attack sites. A special performance by Sting marked the reopening of the venue. A year ago, terrorists stormed the concert hall and opened fire on the crowd, killing dozens of people. As part of a coordinated attack across the French capital, the crowd held a minute of silence before the memorial concert started. Hundreds of thousands of leaflets were dropped on the city of Mosul last night, according to a statement released by Iraq's Joint Operations Command. The leaflets include instructions to residents of Mosul and ask them to be ready to attack ISIS as Iraqi security forces continue efforts to take back the city from militants. The leaflets also advise residents of the victories that have happened so far by the Iraqi security forces. The statement did not give further details on the instructions the leaflets provided to the people in the city of Mosul. And in Pakistan, more than 50 people are dead after an explosion at a Sufi shrine yesterday. Right now, ISIS is claiming responsibility for that blast, saying a suicide bomber is the cause. Around 500 people were at the shrine for a religious ceremony when the bomb went off. Officials say the remoteness of the region is making it difficult for emergency services to reach that area.
There's a lot of things I'm getting excited about, and one of them is the super moon. Beautiful shot from Jitty Betts. Look at that, starting to rise. We saw a lot of cloud cover today, but we should start to see those clouds move out and give you a great view of it. It'll be biggest and brightest around 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, but you can head out tonight and take a look. What makes it special is it's the biggest and brightest one until 2034. It'll be 30,000 miles closer because of the elliptical orbit of the moon. It's been making it 30% brighter and 14% bigger. I feel like I'm trying to sell it to you. If you act now, we'll send you 2. There are 30s and 40s tonight, partly cloudy conditions, and then some cold weather coming. We're going to talk about that coming up. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday evening. Did you see it? For a brief few moments today, there were actually some spots that saw some moisture falling out of the sky today. We'd forecasted that last night, but it was kind of exciting to see. Here's a live look right now from Cripple Creek, 44 degrees. Those winds coming out of the north making it feel a little chillier than it is. And that was one of the spots that was really overcast today and sort of kind of got a spittle. And again, as dry as it's been, that's something to be excited about. 54 is your number right now up at the airport in the Springs. 62 in Pueblo, still holding to that pair of 64s out towards the plains. 58 in Springfield, 58 in Trinidad, and already in the 30s in Leadville. It's going to be another cool one tonight. We'll talk about that in a moment. Live HD Doppler radar, clean and clear. Again, we saw that kind of shower activity make its way across the Rampart Ridge down into El Paso County and even parts of southern or northern or Pueblo County, but again, it was fairly short-lived. Skyscan actually shows that a little bit better. We saw that front move through there and again had a little bit of moisture with it, but most of the party is happening up in the Pacific Northwest right now and will continue to over the next couple days. As we go into the later hours tonight, I'm expecting most of that cloud cover to clear out towards the southeast. Mostly around Los Animas and Trinidad is where you'll see the later clouds, but overnight tonight and going into tomorrow morning, if you want to see that supermoon, get up and out early, but it will be crispy cool out there, very similar to how it was this morning and the day before. As we roll through Monday and Tuesday, expecting more sunshine. Overnight lows tonight will be back in the 30s. Look for 34 in the Springs, dipping just below freezing in Pueblo, 33s in Walsenburg and Trinidad. You'll see some 20s and teens up in the high country. Gunny, you'll be getting down to 17 tonight, 14 in Alamosa, and some low to mid 30s out towards the plains, 33 tonight in Lamar. We're going to warm it up and sun it up again on Monday. 68 will be our high in the Springs, 72 in Pueblo, 70 in Fremont County. You'll see some 60s down towards the south and some lower 70s out towards the plains, 40s, 50s, and 60s in the high country. Now, buckle up because we're about to go for a weather ride. Watch this. We're going to warm up as we go through the week here, holding on to some 70s into Wednesday, and then that system moves through on Thursday. Again, latest models still really wishy-washy about whether this thing's going to go up and over us to the north, but going to give us a 10% chance for some showers and a big drop in temperatures. And then look at these overnight temperatures going into the weekend. Teens. It's been a long time since we've been able to say that. We make a recovery fairly quickly going into the weekend, but it's going to get cold pretty quick. 72 will be your big number in Pueblo. We warm you up into the mid to upper 70s this week, and then ba-boom. 50 will be your high on Friday, and you've got a little shot at some teens there Friday into Saturday as well. So if you've been missing some of that cold weather, here it comes, and if you like the warm weather, get out and enjoy it while it lasts. 70 is your number in Fremont County on Monday. We get you up into the mid 70s on Tuesday, and then again Friday, 48 is your high, 20 is your overnight low, 26 between Saturday and Sunday, and then watch Teller County. 58 for you on Monday, 63 on Tuesday, and then Emily, look at this, 45 on Thursday, 20% chance of a rain-snow mix. Latest models are saying that it'll be about 7,000 feet for the snow level here. So again, we have to keep an eye on it to see whether or not this one's going to come towards us or kind of make that little whoop to the north again like the last couple ones have. But in any event, we're talking about some cold temperatures in the teens. So I know a lot of folks are excited about it, and you probably are too.
Well, and you said you got excited just for the little bit of moisture we saw today. So obviously, if we do get some snow, then you're going to get really excited.
Oh, I'll be dancing.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Sure.
A major earthquake rocked the Pacific Ocean overnight, causing significant damage to New Zealand's South Island. The quake sent people running into the streets and even triggered tsunami waves. ABC's Jennifer Eccleston has the latest.
Shattered glass and fractured nerves in New Zealand. The island nation rocked by a major earthquake overnight. Sirens ringing out across several coastal towns.
Holy.
Many people waking up to shaking, swaying, and things crashing to the ground.
I was lying in bed and yeah, everything started shaking and then it got worse and it just didn't stop.
Residents report the first quake lasted 2 or 3 minutes, followed by strong aftershocks.
Swaying,
doors,
having to hold on to things.
Doors were opening and closing. The whole house was moving. Yeah, it was moving. It
creaking.
Was creaking, moving.
The strength of the initial 7.8 magnitude shaking was enough to crack roads and damage buildings. This store just one example. Products knocked off shelves, the ceiling torn apart. The quake even strong enough to send water sloshing out of an in-ground swimming pool.
Oh my God. This is my apartment after the earthquake.
Many people spent hours standing outside evacuated buildings, and the quake did trigger tsunami waves, which put the coastline on alert. Earthquakes are common in New Zealand, which sits along the so-called Ring of Fire, an area of seismic faults in the Pacific Ocean. But witnesses say this one was much longer and more intense than usual.
Yeah, it was a scary thing.
Jennifer Eccleston, ABC News, London.
Now turning back to Southern Colorado, Nick, it was a pretty epic finish to the Broncos game today. Join us with a look at what's ahead in sports.
An instant classic, and I don't use that term lightly. This game was crazy, and as Emily said, you kind of have to see to believe the way this game finished. I'll show you coming up.
Taylor had the catch.
Well, it's really a testament to the standard the Broncos have set that a tough road loss last week in primetime to Oakland sent the Denver fan base into a frenzy. That being said, things didn't get any easier today in New Orleans facing Drew Brees in the Superdome. Never a fun task for defenses, but the Broncos are no ordinary defense. First, it was the offense getting involved. Trevor Siemian to Jordan Taylor. What a catch by Sunshine. Play is reviewed and the touchdown is good. Broncos have an early lead. However, it wouldn't last. Drew Brees rolling out, hits Willie Snead, 5-yard strike. Saints up a touchdown in the third. Back comes Siemian from the goal line. Jump ball to DT. He's just bigger than you, man. Broncos tie the game. Now they're up a field goal. Brees completes a pass to Michael Thomas, and Thomas gets blasted by Jared Crick. TJ Ward recovers the fumble. It's the fourth Saints turnover of the day. Figured it would seal the deal, but you never leave time on the clock when Drew Brees is conducting an offense. Brees, bang, 32-yard bunny to Brandon Cooks. The Saints are a PAT away from taking the lead until this happened. Cue the rookies. Justin Simmons leaps the center, blocks the kick, and Will Parks scoops and scores. Eventually. Controversy as to whether or not he stepped out. It's called good. Denver gets 2 points and the win over New Orleans. Broncos move to 7-3 on the year and steal a win in the Bayou.
Anytime my hand's on the ball, we want to score with it. You know, that's just that's our mindset every time. And today, hey, we all made plays out there.
Kind of disbelieved, just like everybody else, when he blocked it first, and then he was running it back. I had no idea who had the ball, but you know, pretty cool deal. I knew it was going to come down to the end. So found a way to do it somehow, some way, and really proud to be a part of that group.
and they're on to the bye week. Speaking of snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, Chiefs at Panthers. Kelvin Benjamin has the ball ripped away by Marcus Peters. Panthers were driving to potentially kick a game-winning field goal. The Chiefs, however, with the turnover, do kick the game-winning field goal. Chiefs were down 17-0 at one point. They moved to 7-2 with the win. And in the bustle of high school playoffs and championships the last couple days, we missed Nolan Arenado winning another award. No was named the Wilson Defensive Player of the Year. That's in addition to his Gold Glove and Silver Slugger awards for the 2016 season. For the second consecutive year, the 25-year-old Arenado also led the NL in home runs and RBI. So I know baseball pretty far from our minds right now, but congrats to Nolan. He's really building himself a solid career. How about those Broncos, though? They 7-3, rolling into the bye. They do face the Chiefs the week after the bye at home, so that'll be a big game in the AFC West. Raiders were off this week, so they stand pat. This is shaping up to be a pretty competitive three-horse race in the AFC West.
Plus, I always think it's fun for sports fans to get that kind of roller coaster, even if it's stressful. Makes the game fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Right, thanks. Mike, now you have a look at what's ahead in weather.
Actually, I just have a look at what we had today in weather. Nancy had a Where's Waldo situation today. I don't know if you can find the deer there in Palmer Lake Park today, but she did. And Patty got a picture of that moon before it went up into the cloud ceiling, expecting those clouds to lift out overnight. And Patricia, beautiful shot, setting up for a beautiful day again tomorrow.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for watching. Join us back here for KREU News Channel 13 at 10 o'clock.